This is 2b2t, and as far as I'm concerned, not much has changed in the past few years. There's still the 300-person queues, completely random and ridiculous spawns, hate symbols, and some chat messages I would rather not read aloud. But hey, it's been another year since I was last here on the oldest Anarchy server in Minecraft, and on 2b2t, there's always something. So, I loaded up Minecraft, clicked onto multiplayer, hopped onto 2b2t, and there's the 300-person queue. Typical. Except this time, things are different. I haven't been to the DMV since I got my license, so I am not conditioned to waiting. However, I do have money. Yup, that's right, I'm buying the priority queue. I don't care that it's another 20 bucks I'm spending on Minecraft. That $20 is in good company. I'm not waiting 8 hours this time. So, I bought the queue, and I kid you not, before I could even tab back into the game, I was already in, which is absolutely mind-blowing. So, naturally, I walked through another portal, tripped, and fell 40 stories straight down onto bedrock and died a brutal death. Yup, I was definitely on 2b2t. But at least when I spawned in again, somebody was sending me hugs and kisses. It almost gave me the illusion that somebody loves me. Yeah, that will never happen. I hopped back into the nether and immediately plummeted to my death yet again. Kind of like DB Cooper if he didn't have a parachute. As this video goes on, you'll start to see some similarities between the ways I keep dying that probably aren't gonna go away. When I spawned back in, I saw this massive palace-looking place made entirely out of nether portals, and also a frowny face. You decide which is cooler. The inside of the palace was really sick. Whoever built this in spawn, I applaud you, you absolute G. Whoever made the face, good job, I guess. Back in the nether, and I stumbled upon 3 people at once, which was pretty sick, until I came to find out that they were all in full netherite armor, savagely killing each other. I actually came face to face with one of them who spared my life at first, which was cool because I found a bunch of OP loot on the ground, which sucked because remember that guy from earlier that spared my life? Yeah, well, he came back, and I guess he changed his mind this time. I ran into some signs advertising kits. It's basically like a set of gear you have to pay for. The people that run these sites are kind of like Minecraft door-to-door salesmen, but make your money however you want, I guess. I also saw this girl trying to climb these vines, and I'm not really sure if this makes me a bad guy, but I wanted to kill her really bad, so I tried to cut the vines out from above her, and that didn't work. So I just took the old-fashioned approach and sent her plummeting thousands of feet down to her death. Anyways, a couple spawns later, I found this floating abstract art piece, and also a floating cow. I named him Craig. Fell to my death in the nether, and spawned back by the same place. So you know I had to go check back on Craig. He was fine, by the way. I also found this old bombed-out base, and had about 15 seconds of fun just playing with a trapdoor. I think I was probably losing my mind. Found an AFK dude and killed him. For a school project. I eventually stumbled upon this really weird-looking base thingy built into the side of a lava cast, but couldn't really get a good look at it. So I built up to it, and it was actually this really dope-looking shrine with a boat in the middle, garden with azaleas, and a bridge. There was a chest full of wood, building blocks, and a literal wall of iron blocks, all of which I stole, of course. I shortly thereafter found out I was stealing from the Mag Shack version 1.5, so I left a little note apologizing and logged out for the night. I logged back in the next day to see that Mag himself had left me a message telling me to enjoy the iron and that I had missed a kit that he left here earlier. Leave it to me to make things harder for myself, right? But eventually I put everything valuable in the ender chest and jumped to my death because food isn't easy to come by around here. Kind of like Ireland in the 1800s. But hey, this is good news because I have the tools necessary to escape the spawn now. I just need to actually do it. Anyways, here we are back at spawn and there's a giant and also I found one of those "was here" signs out in the open, and I always get a sick kick out of breaking these and replacing them with some smart-ass comment, and that's definitely not going to change anytime soon. It was right about here I decided it was time for me to hop up in the nether and make my great spawn exodus and go build my house, so to the nether we went. Ran into this dude who honestly creeped me the fuck out, and I was thoroughly convinced he wanted to kill me. He actually kept placing end crystals down and chasing me around. I'm assuming if I didn't get out of the way, he most likely would have blown me up, but after a while, I guess I passed his test or whatever, so he gave me a few god apples as a reward, and then took to the skies and left as fast as he came. Ran into another fully kitted guy who gave me more free stuff, and then another one after that, which has got to be the most insane luck in all of 2b2t history. I probably should have bought a lottery ticket as soon as I finished the recording. But either way, I was now on the nether highway, headed in a certain direction, I'm not going to tell you, but it was definitely away from spawn, and I was decently geared. So I started walking forwards for the next 2 hours, listening to my Russian post-punk playlist. You can actually hear it in the recording, I think. Problem I ran into a bunch was my game just randomly crashing, which would have meant a scrapped video, actually, in the past, because because of the wait times. Now, not so much of a big deal, just really annoying. Makes you really feel bad for those non-priority queue kids though. Nothing like waiting 8 hours just to get to wait another 8 hours over and over again. Anyways, I hopped out around 50,000 blocks away from the spawn. It was still super ugly, so I got back in and kept running for another hour, maybe more. At 100,000, they had a bunch of melons that you could harvest. I took a bunch of those. I don't even think I needed that many, but I took a ton for whatever reason. My game was crashing so much that I actually went on Google to see how I could dedicate more RAM to the game, thinking that would help. But like most of my ideas, it didn't work at all, and I just had to deal with the game constantly crashing for the rest of the recording. I actually found this really sick halfway bombed out base / outpost at one point and poked around there for a little bit on some touristy action. I actually stole a little bit of their stuff, and by a little bit, I mean quite a lot, but hey, it's 2B2T, I can do whatever I want. If you care so much, come find me. Or don't, actually, I really wouldn't like that. But after many hours on the Oregon Trail without dying of dysentery, I had miraculously made it to the finish line. This little plane where I decided to build my base. That is until this happened. Just kidding, I set my spawn. For the next hour, I did some pretty typical Minecraft stuff, built a house. It actually didn't end up looking all that bad. A little farm as well. Put a donkey in a pen out in front. It was pretty nice. If I do say so myself, the setup was looking good. I actually ran off into the wilderness, an undisclosed distance away, to log off just in case any of you hooligans decide to come and find me, wherever it is that I am. Of course, I'm not telling you. But honestly, the 2024 2B2T experience was the best and most enjoyable one yet. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely recommend it to any of you looking for something to do on a weekend or whatever. And I guess on that note, I'll see you guys back on here in 2025. Hopefully I upload another video before then, God forbid. Anyways, take care folks, and I'll see y'all later.